Seattle Metro League, the top high school basketball league in Washington that has produced some of the NBA's biggest superstars. 9 of the last 10 3A state champs came out of the Metro League, so in this series, we cover the 8 teams in the Metro Mountain Division throughout the 2024 to 2025 season. This is episode 3, West Seattle vs. Eastside Catholic.
Me and my nephew, I'm flexing, getting all these racks. Got so much drip when we pop out, they asking what is that? I spit the benches on these kids, boy, you can't step like that. I'm T4L and EBE, I put it on the map. I'm scared to vent, I treat the mic just like he's scared. And I've been fighting, tossing, turning in my sleep, these demons hunting. I was broke a couple years ago, now everybody noticed. And I was broke a couple years ago, now everybody noticed me.
Welcome to episode 3 of Metro League. We got another great matchup today between two Metro teams, West Seattle and the defending state champs, Eastside Catholic. We're going to get right into the game, but before we do that, we got to take a look at the standings and rankings going into this game. Now that we're a few games into the season, things are going to start shaking up in the Metro League. You can see in the standings on the left, West Seattle is 2-3, but they're 0-2 in league games, taking losses to Garfield and Rainier Beach. Eastside Catholic is 2-2, and they're 1-1 in league games, but the rankings is where things get interesting. Eastside Catholic's league loss came to Seattle Prep by 1 point, but they beat Garfield by 9, who was my number 1 ranked team in episodes 1 and 2. So Beach is now at the top of my rankings as they're undefeated in league and they're blowing teams out. And though Eastside is 2-2, I have to move them into that 2 spot after the win over Garfield. Garfield drops to 3, O'Day and Prep stay put, and I'm swapping Roosevelt and West Seattle, so West Seattle moves up into that 6th spot, and my reasoning is because they put up a good fight with Garfield earlier in the season, and both of their out-of-league wins were blowouts, so I gotta give them their flowers there. But now it's time to get into the game, beginning with the starting lineups of each team. Starting for the visiting Eastside Catholic Crusaders, we got 5'7", number 30 ranked junior Dash Lamble Ingram, 6'2", number 44 ranked senior Alex Elston, 6'5", top freshman Titan McNeil, 6'1", unranked junior Cavell Parkman, and 6'10", number 2 ranked junior Yabby Acklog. For the home West Seattle Wildcats, we got 6'6", number 43 ranked sophomore Wesley Armstrong, 6'1", number 103 ranked senior Peyton Duong, 6'5", unranked senior Duncan Monin, 6'2", unranked junior Sully Pond, and 6'4", number 33 ranked senior Alex Pierce. Yabby Acklog won the tip for Eastside Catholic, but West Seattle quickly forced a turnover with this steal from Duncan Monin. He couldn't quite convert the bucket in transition, however, leading to this full court pass from Titan McNeil to Yabby to put EC on the board first. Moments later, Titan drew a foul to get to the line, and he knocked down one of 2 free throws to put EC up 3-0. Eastside Catholic was playing tight defense to start the game, holding West Seattle on consecutive possessions before sharpshooter Cavell Parkman knocked down a tray ball to extend EC's lead. West Seattle then finally got on the board after Peyton Duong threw this dime to Sully Pond, who finished the bucket to make it 6-2. Yabby then got to work in the paint, using his size to his advantage to get himself another bucket, and from there, both teams were playing tight defense. They both came up with multiple steals, and Yabby had a huge block which would lead to a dominant bucket from the number 2 ranked sophomore in the state, Achilles Reyna, who now checked in the game for Eastside Catholic. West Seattle's star player Alex Pierce then got things going by getting to the line and knocking down both free throws, and both teams had a couple more trips to the line before the end of the first. Titan then got the last bucket before the end of the quarter, putting Eastside Catholic up 16-5 going into the second. Sophomore Gabe Kearney then checked in the game for West Seattle, knocking down a quick 3 to get things going early in the second. Achilles then got back to work in the paint for Eastside Catholic, finishing this shot with his left, and on their next possession, Yabby knocked down a fadeaway 3 to keep things cooking for EC. They kept up with the tight defense as well, as Yabby got a steal moments later before hitting the freshman Steven Sun, who knocked down a deep 3 on this play. Alex Pierce then knew he had to start taking over for West Seattle down 15. He drained a fadeaway midi to get them back on the board, and on their next possession, he had this nice drive to the hoop, forcing an EC timeout. Coming out of the timeout, Achilles continued to show his dominance in the paint. He put back his own shot on this drive, and Alex Pierce did the same on the other end, but Achilles wouldn't slow down. He then drew a foul and knocked down both free throws, and on their next possession, he was sizing up again. West Seattle knocked down a couple more free throws before half, but they would go into halftime down 17-30. Coming back from half, West Seattle was ready to turn things around, starting the half with this huge dunk from Alex Pierce. But the EC defense continued to play tight as they would come up with a steal moments later, leading to a nice drive from Titan McNeil. Dash Lane Bull Ingram then came up with another steal for EC on the inbound pass, which would lead to Yabby drawing a foul and knocking down one of 2 free throws. They continued to put the pressure on, but West Seattle started to make plays in transition. Duncan Monin came up with the bucket on this drive, and not long after, Alex Pierce made a nice pass to Sully Pond in transition, helping West Seattle start to come back. They made a couple more stops on defense after that, which led to Duncan making another tough drive, finishing through contact for the bucket, and to Alex Pierce getting to the line once again. Sully then got a nice steal on EC's next possession, leading to this nice take from AP on the other end. Just like that, West Seattle scored 9 straight, cutting the lead to 5, but Achilles Reyna was ready to get back to work for Eastside Catholic. He knocked down a big 3, and on their next possession, Yabby found him in the paint for another tough bucket, forcing a West Seattle timeout. Duncan then tried getting big in the paint, but Yabby thought he was on the volleyball court on this play, coming up with a huge swat. But it didn't shake Duncan because he went right back at Yabby again on the next play, getting his revenge. Achilles then made a nice drive to the hoop, which I thought was an and one, but they called it a charge, giving the ball back to West Seattle. Let me know in the comments if you think this was the right call. EC made a quick stop, however, and on their next possession, Dash found Titan in the corner for the 3 ball. Right before the end of the quarter, Jesse Dabbs got a putback bucket for West Seattle, and Titan knocked down 2 free throws at the line, so the game would head into the 4th quarter with Eastside Catholic up 43-32. Yabby got the first bucket of the 4th quarter after this offensive rebound, and on their next possession, Eastside Catholic's quarterback Isaac Corey made a nice drive to extend EC's lead. Duncan then got to the line for West Seattle, knocking down 1 of 2, and Achilles hit a nice pull-up midi on Eastside's next drive. Jesse Dabbs then splashed a 3 for West Seattle, but Achilles kept cooking, hitting another mid-range jumper to keep things rolling for Eastside Catholic. Isaac Corey then got to the line, knocking down both free throws, and moments later he had a beautiful pass to Dash, who finished the bucket under the hoop. Achilles then got another bucket, so just like that, Eastside Catholic had a 21-point lead with just 3.5 minutes left. But West Seattle continued to fight. Duncan got to the hoop for a score, and they quickly got another bucket on this fast break play from Sully Pond. They made another stop on defense, and Duncan made another nice play in the paint to give himself 2 more. Isaac Corey hit a couple more free throws on the other end, but AP got West Seattle another quick bucket on this crafty Euro step finish. Gabe Kearney then splashed a corner 3 for West Seattle, and AP knocked one down as well, but Eastside just had too big of a lead, and they kept getting to the line to finish out the game. With 3 seconds left, AP had a huge slam for West Seattle, but Eastside Catholic would end up getting the dub at the final buzzer, winning 65-52. Hope you all enjoyed the game. Achilles Reyna ended up as the leading scorer for Eastside Catholic with 23 points, coming off the bench too, so quite impressive from him. But he's one of the top sophomores in the state, and actually a couple games after this, he had a game-winning buzzer beater shot against Roosevelt. As for West Seattle, Alex Pierce also had 23 points, and they went on to win their next 2 games in blowout victories over 2 out-of-league teams. But things are starting to heat up. Next week, we got Garfield versus Nathan Hale, and at that point, you'll have seen all 8 teams in the Metro Mountain Division, so you can get a good idea of each team before we get into some of the crazier matchups coming up in the new year. So stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe to the channel right now so you don't miss any of the content coming up, and we'll see you in episode 4.
What's up, how y'all doing? My name Reese. What's up, how y'all doing? My name Reese. Yes, I'm EB. Yes, I'm the breadwinner. You touch me, then you gon' DIE.